Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Stasis Lock episode 291. We are labeling this one Sadness. We'll get into the reason why we're calling it Sadness in a little bit. But I am your host, Angry Mike. You can find me everywhere as Angry Mike. And we'll start off our introductions. Kick us off, Joe.
I'm Joe. You can find me here or at the Stasis Lock podcast at gmail.com.
I'm Don. You can find me everywhere as the real Primal Sabbath.
I realize that. I guess every week someone's going to take that over.
Megamus Mega Toy Fan on Facebook. Candace.
Candace or Candice. You can find me across social media as Candace or Candice. For I don't know, it's all messed up. So good luck finding me.
I know, right? And for everyone, we actually have a collector or a what is it? What's the segment called? Spotlight something or other? What is it?
Collector Spotlight.
Collector Spotlight. Robbie Musso is joining us tonight. Robbie,
Hey,
tell people they can find you, man.
Hey, Robbie Musso on Facebook, and I'm on DeviantArt. It's Rex-203. I need to update my art page on there, but those are pretty much the two main places you can find me on social media. So, yeah, it's great to be here.
Great, we're glad to have you on here. So,
Yeah.
I guess I don't remember how the segment went because it's been so long since we actually done one. But I know, tell people about what you've done as far as your artwork with Transformers, and maybe list off a couple of things you've actually worked on, toy wise and print wise, that people might be not aware that you did.
Sure. Yeah. Well, I'm an artist. I've been a Transformers fan pretty much since the beginning. Not pretty much, but yeah, actually since the beginning of it. And I started drawing at a very early age, and eventually got into comics. And I started drawing on the IDW's Spotlight Ultra Magnus. And then I did a few Spotlight issues, and then somewhere around 2009, I started freelancing for Hasbro and working on different toys and doing package art and just helping with BotCon. I did a lot of stuff for Fun Publications and kind of a little bit everywhere around the fandom and around the property, the franchise.
Mm-hmm. I know I can think off the top of my head. You did the cover or the box art for BotCon 2014, which was the Pirates. You did do that. You also did the card art for Depth Charge from the Collectors Club.
Mm-hmm.
And then now some toys I know you worked on that I do remember was you worked on the Ghostbusters MP Prime for San Diego Comic-Con. You did, I think, was the roller was what you had?
I assisted with the deco on that. I helped design the little roller ghost trap, the little ghost trap attachment that goes on top of roller. So yeah, that was my involvement with that. I pretty much did the deco. And a lot of other things. I did a lot of package art for Power of the Primes. Did a lot of Titans Return. Did some of the detailing assistance with it. Like I did a lot of the fine detailing on a lot of those toys.
Gotcha.
Because what happens is they'll send me pictures of the basic buck, how it transforms, and then they'll have guys like me who'll go in and we'll add a lot of the surface detailing, all the little panel lines and just all the really, really fine details on it.
Okay.
Well, that's
now currently we talked last week, and you can talk about a little bit about what came out on Fan Friday with Transformers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did a couple things on there. I did the art, the color deco of the Centurion, and also I helped with all the weapons pack, the weapon accessories. I helped design those. So it was a little involvement. It was fun. It's nice to see it finally kind of hit the public.
Right.
Yeah, it's just different stuff. Yeah.
It's pretty cool to get to work on something I guess you grew up playing with as a child, I guess.
Yeah. It's fun. It's exciting, and sometimes it's it's a job, but it's it's very enjoyable.
Right.
Well, this is a job then if you're enjoying it.
So, does everyone have the questions in front of them?
Do.
They would be in our chat on Facebook or in the private chat.
I'm assuming that we're doing these in order.
Right. So I will do 1, Joe 2, and then all
our
intros.
I thought you were last.
It doesn't matter who says that question.
I guess I'm number 4 now.
Yes.
All right, then.
So you'll be 4 and 8, and Candace gets to be number 10. So I will kick us off.
No way.
So,
No way.
do you have any other artists that inspired you to draw?
Yeah, I mean, it's tons. A long time ago. I mean, earlier on, it was Jim Lee. Jim Lee got me kind of into like drawing comics and X-Men superhero type stuff. In the '90s, the big '90s comics boom, right? But then into the 2000s, like the whole Dreamwave era was really, really inspirational to me. So guys like Don Figueroa and Alex Milne, who's still at it. Those guys are just incredible and have been an inspiration. And yeah, they've influenced me, definitely. Yeah. Then, of course, you got the classic artists who did like a lot of the package art. Like Mark Watts. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Mark Watts. He did a lot of your G1 package art. So awesome.
Heck yeah.
So yeah, that has inspired a lot of my work. Yeah.
It's awesome.
And Sunbow, of course, is always the G1 cartoon, right?
Right.
Oh yeah, that's the.
I know we're on a Beast Wars podcast, but I started off with G1.
Well, Beast Wars is G1, by the way. So
yeah, it is. It is.
Yep.
All right, Joe.
Okay. What tools of the trade do you commonly use?
These days, I'm pretty much all digital. So I use Photoshop. I have kind of an older version now, but yeah, I need to update that. I do have Photoshop, and I use I have a Wacom Cintiq tablet. So it's basically it's a screen you draw on. It's like a giant tablet, but it's like the size of an easel. So yeah. But prior to that, I would use just a lot of pencil and like micron pens. The fine like technical pens. Yeah, and that's basically it. Sometimes I'll use markers. Like I have Copic markers I'll use sometimes if it's, if somebody wants a one-of-a-kind colored piece. So yeah, but mostly I'm digital these days. It's fast.
Yeah. So I guess it's my turn. What is your favorite art piece you've created so far?
Wow, that's tough. Probably years ago, I think it was around 2004. In fact, I think it's on my Facebook page still. I did this big like spread of like a lot of Japanese robots. It was for the website robotjapan.com, and it's got like Optimus, and it's got Mazinger Z, it's got Go Lion, Voltron on it. But it was just a collage of pretty much all of our favorite, Japanese robots from the 70s all the way to today. So
Gigantor.
I guess, yeah, exactly. If I could pick one piece, I guess that would probably be it, just because it kind of like encapsulates everything, all my favorites.
That's awesome.
Nice.
All right. So I'm hoping number 9 is way better question than this, but when did you first realize you had a talent in art? Which you've already told us, but go ahead.
Yeah, no, well, I mean, I don't remember, truthfully. I mean, I've been told by my parents that it was a very early age, I guess maybe toddler. I don't know. If I was old enough to hold a pencil, basically. But all throughout school, like school.
I'm sorry, but that's such a lame question. Why would you ask that question? Why would you make me ask that question?
You know what?
You know,
You said
I
love
love crayon
questions.
or whatever. I mean,
These are
come
Dakota's
on.
questions.
But I could say, fast forward to high school. High school is probably when I really took it seriously. That's
Okay,
when I
well,
probably
that's cool.
started.
Robbie, that has nothing to do
Probably
with
why
you.
I
I'm
really
just saying
said,
whoever wrote these questions. I mean, come on. That's ridiculous.
Dakota.
Well, there you go. I'm sorry.
That's why he's not here
He's not
tonight.
here, so he's the scapegoat.
He's the
I looked ahead.
scapegoat.
Number 9's way better. I'll be better the second time around. Go ahead, Keith.
So you say.
Yeah, during basically the 90s, during the 90s comics era, was when I really wanted to.
How could you say that the 80s comics were so much better? I'm going to do an argument right now.
I was a
The
cartoon
80s comics
guy.
were so much better.
I'll be honest, in the 80s, I was all about the cartoon. I really didn't even read comics.
You know
it
what?
wasn't
Fair
until,
enough. The cartoon was good too. So there you go.
yeah.
Wow.
Credit.
Heckling the guy already. I know.
Drama queen.
This is our guest.
Get off my
Robbie
lawn.
knows us, so
Really?
it's okay.
See,
yeah,
if
it's
we
all
can't
good.
see you, at least we could hear
I know you guys.
Just go ahead.
What was the most frustrating piece you've done?
Ooh, boy, that's tough.
That's always fun.
That's
always
actually
fun.
really neat coming from one artist to another. So that's pretty good. I like that.
Man. Yeah. You know, I don't know of any specific ones. I mean, it's usually the ones where, and it's kind of contradictory to what I said, because my favorite was the one that I did that had all kinds of characters on it, but also the ones that have even more than those are extremely tedious. You know, if you're having hundreds and hundreds of characters on it. But yeah, as far as any particular one, I don't know if any stand out as being just the worst one that I just dreaded working on. But yeah, sorry, that's kind of a non-answer. But
Damn.
I guess I just enjoyed them all, truthfully. I know it's kind of a cop-out answer, but I really
That's
can't
good.
All right,
think of
we have
any
some
that.
cop-out questions. So
Dude, it's
Nah, it's
Dakota. You make sure you send all your questions to Primal Secretary,
I don't
and he
care.
will forward them to Dakota.
Listen, bro, Robbie, love you. Listen about this. I mean, come on. That's like going to, you start talking about all that stuff and you say, hey, how do I get into voice acting? How many freaking times do you need to ask that question? Come on.
At
Yeah,
least
I'll pull
times.
something out of the air, though. Working on comics,
That's
I would
true.
say probably one of those
That's
pages
true.
where it's just a bunch of talking heads. I think in I did Spotlight Ramjet was second book I'd worked on, and there were a couple of pages where they just had these human avatar characters that they weren't human, but they basically looked like human, but they were just talking conversation for 2 pages. So I think pages like that, yeah, if I have to just draw a bunch of talking heads and it's kind of just boring, that's probably something that I kind of would shy away from if I had the choice.
You're all about the action. I see.
Action packed.
Yeah. There you go, baby. All right.
All right. Question number 6. What is the best way for people to contact you about maybe commissions or to purchase items you've done, prints or stuff of that nature?
Probably Facebook. Facebook is where I'm mostly, where most people can reach me. Obviously I have email too, but I'm always on Facebook. So you can, if you wanted to reach me on there, it's just Robbie Musso, ROBBYMUSSO.
And then would you be able to do take, for example, the predicament me and you are in right now. If I wanted to get something else commissioned by you, I can just mail you the book and have it done.
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay, that's probably what's going to end up happening, but we'll talk about that here in a few minutes. So, okay, I just wanted to know. I mean, I know there's people that might be interested in maybe your original artwork. I mean, that's something you'd still sell and ship out in a tube or something, right?
Right, or flat. If it's original art, I'll probably just mail it flat. But yeah.
Okay. All right.
There goes that cat.
Joe.
Yeah, Joe.
Oh.
Sorry. So,
Is there anything else
Cheetor.
you like to draw other than Beast Wars?
All
The correct answer
Transformers.
is no.
cars. I like to draw cars. You know, obviously, kind of comes with the territory, sort of. But I do like cars. I'm a car guy too. Yeah, but you know, honestly, these days I mostly just draw like whatever's work related. So it's kind of mostly it's whatever I'm getting commissioned for. Because a lot of times, if I'm not working, I kind of would just rather sort of step away. So I don't really do a whole lot of like pet projects these days. But yeah, if I'm drawing for fun, it's probably something G1 related or car related.
So I'm going to follow up with, have you been commissioned by any big corporations to do any Beast Wars projects lately?
No.
Subtle joke.
Yeah, I know, right? I wouldn't be able to answer that anyway, but I can say honestly, no, I have not.
Okay.
Make of that what you will, but I personally have not been. No.
All right. So, what would you recommend someone starting out? You know, if they want to learn how to draw in the things that in the way that you do.
Well, I always say start out by imitation. You know, if there's a piece of art that you like, you know, if there's like a fan piece or, you know, anything you like, just copy it. If you're starting from scratch, if you've never really like drawn or composed like anything original, and you just want to sort of learn the details and kind of the techniques, just start out by imitation. I mean, that's what I did early on with comics. I would just copy something from Jim Lee or Todd McFarlane and just a 1-to-1 copy, and it would it's like programming. You're kind of like getting the idea of it. And then aside from that, you know, just practice and sticking with it. I think a lot of people get discouraged early on, and they want to draw, you know, like somebody who's been drawing for 30 years in a week. So, you know, you just have to stick with it. If you're kind of just starting out, stick with it. Don't be down on yourself, and don't compare your work to other people's. Yeah.
All right.
So, a little better question. What other toy lines do you collect?
Oh, man, I collect a lot of stuff. I do like toys in general. I have like a lot of G.I. Joe stuff.
Rock on.
Let's see. What else? You guys familiar with RoboForce, Glyos? Do you know Toyfinity?
I've seen some people posting about
those they come out. They don't come out like super often. They're not in like main retail, but it's an awesome toy line. Shout out to John Kent at Toyfinity. What else? Basically, like Japanese robot Chogokin stuff. I like Soul Chogokin. And,
oh yeah.
The fine wine taste you got there.
Yeah. What do you call it? Champagne taste on a Kool-Aid budget.
That just means you got to dig harder. That's all.
Got a champagne taste on a Budweiser budget.
Yeah, exactly.
Got to dig harder. You can find it. Trust me.
What else? Ninja Turtles. How can I leave out Ninja Turtles? I'm a pretty big Ninja Turtles guy.
Oh man.
So yeah, I'm kind of all over the place. I mean, Transformers is number one. That's always tops. But yeah, I'm kind of all over the place with a lot of stuff. I mean, pretty much everything from our generation.
Cool.
Awesome.
All right, Candace.
The moment of truth.
This is your time to shine, Candace. Ask the question.
Oh,
I can't believe we can't even see you when you say it. At least when you say it. Come
you
on,
don't need to
see
see me.
Yes, for
That's
this.
right.
Come on.
Nope, not gonna happen. Is Tigatron a dick? That's the question.
Yes!
He's not a team player. He doesn't seem like a team player. Even though I like him, but he doesn't really like. He could hang around the team a little bit more. That's all. Instead of going off and doing his own thing.
That sounds like a solid yes to me.
That's the consistency. He is a dick.
He's an introvert. He's an introvert, right?
Oh, God damn it.
Yeah.
He's a dick.
I'm a dick.
He's a dick. Well, cool. I hope we did.
Okay.
I know some of the questions are a little lame, but you know they came from Dakota, so what can we expect?
Well, you know, I mean, what do you expect, right?
I know.
I'm going to hear from Dakota.
Here to defend himself.
One thing I skipped out on, which was my fault, we forgot to do hauls. So let's backtrack to that before we go into the news and everything. Joe, what did you get? Candace, we know you probably didn't get anything, right?
Statues.
No statues.
Stop. Maybe I did.
Dinobot statue?
No statue.
Well, we wouldn't know because you're not going to show a picture of it.
Exactly.
Jeez.
You get anything, Joe?
It comes down to me?
Oh, what? Oh,
Did you get anything,
finally got that red-eyed Cheetor. Took over a month to arrive, sealed
That's
on
right.
card.
Okay.
So finally got it.
Cool. Dalton?
I got a lot of nothing this week.
Huh?
I got an email, but we'll say that for later.
Emails don't count. Brett, what'd you get?
I got a wonderful O'Keefe's hand cream. O'Keefe's hand cream keeps your hands crisp and clean. That's what I got.
Okay, if a loaf of bread doesn't count, that doesn't count.
Actually, it's in the mail. So it'll be here next week. Unfortunately, I won't be, but it'll be here.
And Candace,
You won't be in the mail?
Not that I know of.
Actually, I got a
Actually?
Perfect Effect Beast Guerrera Dark. Actually,
Ooh.
I don't have the original one, but I got the dark one. So
Okay, well, cool. She actually got
Hey,
it.
slowly
the
trying to
It's an acquired
accumulate my
taste.
monkeys.
The Throne of the Primes deco actually looks, in my better.
That was a good. That was a
You
good.
see, I have to have them all.
I like it.
So
It's okay.
I have
All
them
right.
too.
and with
Robbie,
that
what'd you
being-
get? No, you what? You're eating next. What'd you get?
This week,
Yeah,
well, most recently, let's see. I got Earthrise, Grapple, Hoist, Wheeljack.
Dang! Way to show us
couple
up.
weeks ago-
Thanks.
Well, I mean, I haven't really been. I'm way behind. I still got to actually get quite a bit of the recent stuff. Yeah, I got Earthrise, Starscream a couple weeks ago. That's a really nice figure.
Yeah.
I'm way behind too. I'm just cheap. I don't buy anything. So. All right, Mike, what'd you get?
About time, damn it. I did. I got a lot this week. Let's see. I got this Rapungus figure. I got.
Old.
Hold on. I will show you each one. Exhaust in the mail. The select exhaust that doesn't
Nice.
exist nowhere yet, apparently.
It's right there.
Exhaust.
Do what?
Exhaust.
Oh.
You know, the misspell.
Oh, yeah. And then I got this Titans Return Scourge. Nemesis Prime, whichever one it is. I just picked
Old.
that up today. I got Transformers Reactions figures. I got Jetfire, Grimlock, Scrapple, and Rumble. I got San Diego Comic-Con Metroplex. I got...
Wow.
What else did I get?
And he's getting evicted out of his
I'm
house
gonna-
for buying so many toys.
That I am.
You know that Baldwin drop.
Hey,
I
I remembered what I got. I went to Agabus.
Oh,
And
yeah!
I
That's
got-
right.
You already had your turn.
That's weird. You
I
never
wasn't
go
done
there.
yet. I wasn't even done yet. And I'm in charge, so I can go back if I want to now.
Hey, I reminded him.
So it's funny that he said Agabus because it reminded me I got my my masterpiece Black Arachnia in this week from Agabus, which I do suggest everyone go and buy stuff from is Agabus. Screw those little big guys. Is that good enough, Joe? That's what you told me to say.
Oh yeah, yep.
Okay.
Word for
$5.
word.
Good. I think
Your
that's it.
check's in the mail.
Great. I appreciate it. And I'll be spending it at agabusbucks.com.
Yep.
I think that's it. I'm
Categories.
sure there's something else I got. I just don't remember. I got a lot this week. I got more than I probably should have gotten. But
Yeah,
I sold a lot of stuff too this past week. So, All right.
Yeah, you did.
That's right. Yours. That's funny. Yours is in the mail. Mailed out today. You should have it by Saturday.
Yes. Thank you.
All right. So
Right.
we're gonna go to screen share.
Are we doing show notes this week too?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Give me a second.
Oh, that was a terrible episode.
What?
Well,
Took me an hour to watch.
I saw Dalton notes
You
left
weren't even
and right.
following it.
All right. So we will. So since we did Beast Banging last week, we are doing episode review, or as I would like to call it from here on out, the Dalton segment. But he doesn't agree to that. But it's really a Dalton segment because
It's
Dalton
a Dalton
does.
footnote.
Right. Once Dalton goes, he pretty much names everything. There's no need for no one else to go. But to please the masses, we will go ahead and let Dalton go first, and then everyone else will key in what he actually missed, if anything. So we are kicking off with Beast Wars 2nd, Episode 1. So take it away, Dalton.
well, first thing a couple things I want to mention is I absolutely love the intro for this show. The music is great. The animation is great. And speaking to the animation, I really love this. As much as I love Mainframe for North American series, I do like them going back to the 2D animation. Just allows a lot more emotion and, I guess, comedy, I think. And anyone else have anything to say about that? Or
You're done already?
I'm waiting for the
No, I
notes.
mean,
Oh, I noticed a lot of the comedy too.
Dude,
I just didn't think it was just going to be
I thought
me
the
talking
intro was a little long, though. I'm not going to watch that every
Yeah.
time. Fast forward.
Yeah, I fast forwarded through it. It got old. I didn't understand what they were saying.
I don't understand why there's a Tasmanian devil in the desert, because usually they're in the jungles. And the Destron ship looks awesome. I love how just intimidating and ridiculous it looks. Apache gets drunk just like Mike after a pack of 6-pack Smirnoffs at Robocon.
Hey.
I have more to add to that. I'll add later. That's on my
Ease
notes.
up, Brett.
Who'd have thought that our moon was completely hollow? New theory on that one.
Jeez.
It's a little strange, at least the Maximals this time around to leave with stasis pods instead of just crash landing with their ship. And that is a leopard, not a that's a
that
cheetah,
what
not a
happened?
leopard.
I got lost that part.
We'll get to that also.
And I don't understand how there's toxic energon levels, like why they have to assume a beast mode or die, because
I thought it was the humidity.
That's correct. There's actually something else he says that makes it even worse.
well,
Actually,
I could be the angle Y energy.
that's right. Help me out.
I feel like
Ken.
there's a Phil Collins song about it. Something coming in the air tonight.
Is the Lion King now?
What?
Wasn't that the Lion
What
King?
the heck? What,
No,
Joe, where are
what
you?
talking about?
We're going through a birth canal. What's the...
I think Kid looks a lot better as a Tasmanian devil than his other two ideas that he had about himself.
Oh no, the cheetah one was pretty good. I mean, just saying.
I mean, it looked all right, but I think it's interesting this time around that you actually go, they go from walking all fours to standing upright, much like Rat Trap in Beast Wars. And Scuba's got some practical jokes for the rest of his crewmates, acting like he's going to faint from the bad puns.
Sounds like a Dalton.
Dalton.
And here's a real Dalton. Apache sounds like Beast Wars fans correcting G1ers, calling Optimus Primal a monkey instead of a gorilla.
That is actually very close to what I said, so I'm going to scratch that off. That's very good. Very good. I'm marking that off now.
Well, I'll probably mark this one off. Oh, I don't know. Traditional cartoony humor, like the over-exaggerated goose egg on kid's head after he ran into Bighorn. So just goes along with one of my first notes. I don't understand what's going on with Scuba's chest when he transforms into robot mode. Like his squid jaws just jut out for some reason, and then it cuts to the ship. Galvatron needs to chill, always gritting his teeth like that. That's not good for your teeth.
Lockjaw.
Got it.
And let's see, we got two more here. A lion with
Robbie, if you want to bail out,
new series.
No, I haven't seen this series. Was it a movie, or I think I saw clips of it?
Well, first of all, it's probably better than what we're making it out to be. So judge for yourself. But
I remember.
Yeah.
So which Beast Wars Second, it was like really slapsticky comedy, right? Like,
yeah,
I remember it just being like really, really like zany. But the animation was cool. I mean, I remember it looked like, good Japanese animation, and so I just haven't had a chance to really like watch it all the way through. But
you can find it all on Carito fan subs on YouTube.
As long as you like to read.
Yeah, I'm all about the subtitles. Yep.
There you go.
But second to last note, a lion with strange extra claws and little red squares on the back of his legs. Could it be? Nah. And I should have mentioned this earlier, but I really do love the fact that these are so accurate to their toy, the toy counterparts.
Mm-hmm.
Like having some of the kibble hanging off, just like the original toys and everything. So I really like that.
That's one of the things that have really made so many of the Beast Wars toys so great, though, because like they really did, like they basically were perfect representations of the show as it is. I mean, in a lot of cases, they don't necessarily even need like masterpiece representation. Even now, like those toys 20, 30 years later are still excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Spokesman for Beast Wars.
Beast Wars.
All right, Joe, what you got?
I got a few Dalton notes that he missed. The computer made the same noise as the minicons do in Armada. The little beeping noise, like I don't know how to describe it.
But no one watched Armada but Dalton. So.
Hey, I just watched it like 2 weeks ago.
By mistake.
It was very frustrating.
I'm sorry, Joe.
It was very frustrating.
Exactly.
Like
seriously,
there's parts where they'll refer to tidal wave as shockwave and they'll refer to overload as ultra magnus. It's like they didn't have the script finalized, or Hasbro didn't give them the proper name list at the time. Just little inconsistencies like that bugged me.
They do that in Energon too with Cliff Jumper and Downshift, switching them back and forth.
I couldn't make it past the first episode of Energon. But so what was the other one? And then there was the tentacle part, which made me think of Dalton.
Shut up.
And then
Yeah.
We got Brian in here.
so okay, this confused me. So they clearly know what Earth animals are, because the one dude has teddy bears and little action figure of a leopard cheetah. So why can't they just scan something from their knowledge or their data banks? Like I didn't get that.
Probably because they have to have the actual DNA structure near them.
Actually,
well, still, wouldn't they have that in their data banks? I mean, you would think they would have collected DNA samples of all these things.
Yeah. Woulda, coulda, shoulda, but they didn't.
And then what was the other thing? So I also noticed. Okay, so for the lion, when he's in lion mode, he's perfectly like covered up on the bottom, like seamless, except the back two legs. Like there's gaps where the robot legs will be. That bugged me.
Well,
why didn't they just close the gaps? Because they didn't leave the gaps under the front legs. I mean, you would think, I don't know.
Or was it supposed to be drawn that way?
And then
I think they did it intentionally to hint that it's Lyle Convoy, but still, why not have more gaps?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Well, I mean, on his front paws, he had those weird like metal plates where the claws came out of.
Yeah. So, is Commander Convoy, is that Lyle Convoy before he's Lyle Convoy?
Yeah.
Or is that a totally different dude? Okay, I didn't know if that was a different dude.
Yeah, because on his back you could see little gold parts that would like mimic the mane.
Okay. And then I think Brett is Apache because he's an old guy with a lot of beer. So
who's Mike then? Bighorn, because he's always angry.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, I was thinking more along Bighorn.
Then
for myself,
Dalton is definitely Scuba because of the tentacles.
No, I'm I'm the Kid Appeal character as always. I'm Kid or Diver.
Not Kid.
Is that all you got, Joe?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, Brett, what you got?
All right, so the first thing I noticed is that Destrons equal pollution. I mean, that's bad. Second, and I'm sorry, but I definitely like Moon's voice. That's a very, very beautiful voice. Since when does robots need weights?
Yeah, yeah, I completely forgot about that.
I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then stinky water. Okay. You read the caption, stinky water.
Yeah.
So here's my big analogy. All right. Apache is a drunk Mike, which takes over from Commander, which is Dakota. Hence the show.
Yep.
All right.
This is Stasis Lock second.
Giggity. So, and then I'm sorry, but what they were worried about, why they went into their beast modes, was rust. They're going to rust to death. So let's go to a planet that's mostly made of water so we can rust to death. How does that make any? And then the last thing, which is my favorite, is they're allowed to scan once, so they're one and done. Boom.
Is that a mic drop?
That was a mic drop.
This isn't Bayformers where you can scan 20 vehicles and have your whole old vehicle mode peeling off like paint.
There's been other ones that they could do that. So I'm sorry. It's just one and done. Sorry, I said it. Bam.
Candace, what you got? Anything?
And you're not Kid.
I was throwing mine in there, so I'm good.
You're good? Well, you know what? I actually do have something I want to say. I want to appreciate every one of y'all saying something, so I don't have to now.
Lazy.
Yeah, I took after Dakota.
You didn't watch the episode?
Didn't even watch
Candace,
it,
did you even watch it? Candace, you didn't watch it either. You didn't say anything.
I watched it. I was throwing in some of my comments and
yeah.
I did. Honestly, I did
Joe.
not. I did not get time to watch it, so y'all just
Joe,
forgive me.
Mike, keep it up. You're gonna be on a ban out.
I spent an hour watching this episode, and then Mike slacks off and doesn't watch it.
Dude, I've been doing so much stuff today. I had to go
Oh
get.
my
hold
gosh!
on. I had to go get cupcakes for my daughter and other stuff.
I bought cupcakes too, Mike. I still watched the episode.
You have the cupcakes for free.
How many episodes is it?
I was in a diabetic coma at the time, so it's okay.
How many episodes?
Yeah.
Let's see. Go ahead.
It's always on my watch list. I have this like ever-growing list of things to watch. And it's like I need to watch this. I need to watch Beast Wars Neo, and it's a matter of getting to it.
79 altogether. I think that's with the movie.
Ooh, wow. Neo's just a movie, though, right?
Wait. Oh,
Isn't
no, I'm
Beast
looking
Wars
at
Neo just a movie?
No,
Beast Wars
Beast Wars Second had a movie.
Okay.
Neo was a full series though.
Okay.
Oh, it's 43 episodes and
Course, it's 40. 40. Okay. That's what I thought.
Little net actually card. All right, let's move along here. In our slides, Stasis Lock can be
shoe
found
on your
on
head.
Instagram as Stasis Lock Podcast, Facebook as Beast Wars, Hasbro, you're not getting that back. Twitter as Stasis Lock Cast. I am actually taking up the reins on that one. So if anyone has a Twitter account and you're not as old as I am, I guess, apparently, come over there and hit us up on Twitter. You can reach Joe at stasislockpodcast@gmail.com. And then you can reach us all on the Beast Wars Society group on Facebook. It is a buy, sell, trade, and discussion group. So go join now. Be sure to ask those questions because if you don't, guess what? You get a big boot to the ass.
I bequeath to you a boot to the head. And one more for Jenny in the lip.
Boot to the head. No. All right. So, news. This just breaking really was announced maybe a little over an hour ago, but
Yep.
I knew when I got the email earlier today that my hotel had been canceled. Pete's RoboCon, July 24th, 25th, is going to a virtual con. So basically, you will be able to. Yeah, that's why it's black and white. It's kind of dead to me right now. So if you want to, they're going to do some stuff. I'm not for sure what all they're going to do. They're going to, from what I read the email, they're going to live stream some panels. And that's really all I got out of it, I think.
So one of the things they're going to do is if
good.
you got the custom class, they're going to do an online tutorial for that, which should be pretty cool. So I know that that's in the works. That's going to happen.
Was it just going to be a rewatchable video that they put up?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm hoping they talked about doing. Oh my God, what's the name of that stuff? What's it called? Zoom or?
Yeah, Zoom meeting.
Yeah. So it'll be live, so you'll be able to interact and ask questions and everything. But I think it'll be downloadable for later.
Mm-hmm. Anything else you can tell us about it, Brett?
Daggone Rona.
What about Stasis Lock Con that's still happening?
Yes. So
I heard that was happening on a Friday.
Nope, Thursday.
I heard a Friday.
Thursday,
I thought
Friday,
it was every
Saturday.
Wednesday.
Turn up your hearing aids, Brett.
I have
Thursday.
guns and dogs.
We
It's on Brett's lawn.
Nah, I don't think it will
Toy
be.
Squirrel is gonna hide toys like the Easter Bunny, and we're gonna all look for them in the lawn.
The dog
Well-
put a lot of stuff for you to, find. I mean, that's fine. If you pick that up, that's great.
I picked it right up as soon as you said dog.
Yeah,
I know exactly where he's going with that.
You know it.
So yeah, so there is a possibility that Stasis Lock members will still go to Kentucky just for shits and giggles, and to
Got a
have good time.
videotape where it didn't happen. That's all I'm going to say.
That's fine. And
Oh,
there actually is another. As of this morning, there is another show happening the same day as RoboCon was. If you're in the Louisville area, it is called Kentuckiana. I think it's how it's pronounced.
Kentuckiana.
Kentuckiana. It is a G.I. Joe themed. But I do know some of the big department or vendors will be there. I know Roma Collectibles will be there, as well as the toy department out of Cincinnati.
Out of control, Candace.
And we'll be there as far as I know. And then there's some more people that'll be there as well. So unless that gets canceled, then we're all up a shit creek about a battle. Or y'all could just stay at home and watch the virtual one. Yeah, so
The way things are going, they may
Comic-Con
cancel more things.
Comic-Con at home's happening that weekend too, so it'll be the weekend of 1,000 pre-orders.
yeah. All right, so let's move along here. These were some colored images. I don't think these have been seen yet. Dalton, you'll have to refresh my memory on all this stuff.
Can't
It
remember.
looks awesome.
This is their tantrum.
Crane or Kang or something.
Cang-Toys.
Or Chang if you're another channel's host.
So, yeah, these look awesome.
They don't look bad.
So I think this is actually the first one that's been put up in color. Is that right?
No.
It's
No, Rampage
Of
is
this
already
guy.
out.
No, of this character, right?
Yeah.
The
This
Rampage is already out. These guys are big. They're huge. They're like Masterpiece Seeker size.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they're big and.
Giggity.
But yeah, this is a Land Bull, is what they're calling it. It could change because the Rampage was named Ferocious, so this might be named something, I don't know. Or they could just stick to Land Bull, like Generation Toys Red Bull.
Well, they could call him Tantrum because bulls have. Oh wait, never mind.
No. I think I know where you're going with that.
Yeah. I like that leg mode. It kind of, the way the legs are on the back, it kind of makes it look like his calf.
Yeah.
Calf.
Get out.
Joe made a fun.
Not fainted from that pun.
Speaking of bulls, I got the Red
Jesus.
Bull from Generation Toy, the Sideswipe. Dude, that thing is fantastic. Probably one of my favorite figures so far this year. It's just so great in both modes. It's so cool. You should all buy it at Agabus. Shameless plug.
Your check's in the mail.
Yep.
All right, this one here, I thought this was pretty interesting. I meant to write these all down. What they came
This is
from.
the Tim Hedda
Oh yeah.
Gorilla Conversion Kit.
So apparently, if you have the Power of the Primes Primal, you can upgrade your little Primal to something that looks really weird, in my opinion. So you can see they have the extra fist on the side.
Why not?
And on the back,
Primal
they have
smash.
the feet and the head.
Now, with these Tim Hedda upgrades, I think you have to paint them up yourself.
Ugh.
I think that's what Dakota had to do for
Is that
his
3D
impact
printed?
upgrade. They might. I think they are either 3D printed or they're maybe molded later.
They look 3D printed.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think there's any way to actually fix that Power of the Primes Primal like this. They didn't even know.
Well, they're trying.
They're trying. I give them credit for trying, but
A for effort.
Yeah, give them
F for
give them
execution.
credit for trying until you see this one here. Hello.
it actually looks better from that angle, honestly, I think.
I don't think it does at all. I
That
think
is
it looks
a
worse.
box.
Yeah, I mean,
I would have liked if they would have made that inner figure Transmetal Optimal.
Yeah.
Optimus.
yeah, that would have been cool.
And then upgrade up to Optimal Optimus.
Yep, that would have been really cool.
Yeah, because then you could have done Ape Link and Primal
Then the
Prime.
surfboard. Yeah,
Right. Yeah, you got the surfboard, and plus the color palette would have been more compatible with it too, with the
Yep.
oranges and blue and stuff, kind of the purplish bluish.
Then the burgundy.
Mm-hmm.
So that is all for that one. Oh, hold on, we have one more there. It's
Oh.
back in on me.
just looks like
Just
the
kind of
Hulk
Sitting
Primal.
there like swiggity swooty.
This here is going to have to be I have to, if they do a colored version or they
Uh-oh.
show it a color. If they don't, then I'm really kind of out on this. But I just really can't.
We lost Brett. Oh, he's okay. Never mind. He's gonna be right back.
Is he still there?
He said be right back.
Oh, okay. Let's move on. This here is
Transform Dreamwave.
Transform. Yeah. So they are basically almost rebuilding you a whole complete figure, in my opinion.
These are just surface level add-ons.
But I mean, they're pretty cool. I mean, I think they are hitting the actual niche of where they need to be hit at.
Mhm.
You know, for where people had a lot of issues.
Well, no, apparently there's supposed to be some more stabilizers in the legs for the combined mode, so that's going to help out greatly for using overbite. So
I missed out on that.
The elbows are the key there.
Yeah, well, they replaced the elbows. You can see the great plates.
I'm surprised they didn't do new hands. Normally, these guys always do new hands.
The hands on the official are, I think, fine as is. The only issue is the tab for holding up the thumb.
Yeah, I mean, just give it new hands.
A little bit of
these guys do new hands for everything. I mean, just reuse the Optimus ones. But whatever.
So they got bigger feet.
$64.99 for the whole thing.
Yeah, got bigger feet. They have something I like about it was having kind of like leg fillers in a way. I'd say make the legs look beefier compared to what they look like now. I mean, it makes it look good. Of course, this is going to be. I actually went ahead and pre-ordered this with BBTS.
Yeah, I think I might go ahead and do that.
Unless Agabus gets it, then he'll get my money.
Yeah, he'll be getting them.
Okay.
I'm behind on my work.
And so, a lot of really cool stuff. I mean, when it gets down to these little bitty parts is where I get confused at, I guess.
Well, I think those in the little box there, I think that's all the stabilization fixes.
So like you take the combiner hips apart and you use that to replace the bits inside, and it makes the ratchets better and more sturdy.
I believe so. I really hope they do a God Neptune. I really hope they do a God Neptune version of this.
I bet you they will.
Oh, I'm sure they will. I mean, for them, it's already designed, and then it's just printing money.
Well, they'd have to redesign things for the right arm because we don't have Nautilator with God Neptune.
But I wonder if they could be used on either one, though, couldn't they?
No, because he doesn't have I don't think he has a hip that just slides out on a mushroom peg. I think it's inside the torso.
See, and I like this, how it, makes it beefier on the back. I mean, it just looks, I like the way they're doing this. I really, appreciate the extra effort. They get an A+ for effort.
Do you have to alter like the original figure to add that on, or does it just kind of like snap on?
According to TM2DB, those aren't replacements. They just go on the outside to add stability and fill them out.
Okay.
And that's fine. I'm okay with that because it really needs it.
Mm-hmm. And
it's a great set, but yeah, I agree. It needs it.
Delirium, of course, I want the reprint of this because God Neptune is going to be the better version of this. Hey, it's Beast Wars, so.
Beast Wars.
So I want to throw out, since we have Robbie on here, I wanted to. I found some Beast Wars art. And see, I can't come out of this screen while I'm on.
Simon Wong?
I can't remember if this was Simon.
I think
it's in the
this
show
was
notes. They should be in the order that they're in the show notes.
We have show notes?
Jesus. You guys are killing me. So these here are not my artwork. I just wanted to show them off since I've been seeing these shared on the Beast Wars Society group.
Mm-hmm.
They
look awesome.
Yeah, those look really cool.
Transmetal designs.
Yeah, I hope that's what we get for the possible Beast Wars 25th anniversary, or at least some of them.
I like that they gave that Cheetor actual hands.
Yeah.
Like figures, and not just like, oh, here I'm gonna have half a mouth as a hand.
Well, it looks like the head just slides back to reveal the hand, so I like that a lot better.
Yeah, these designs look great. I had seen when I guess these were posted in the group on Facebook. You said, right, Mike?
Yeah, on the Society group page.
Yeah, they look really, really good.
This would be Dakota's favorite.
Man.
Oh, I didn't see that one. That one's cool.
Yes, most of these were all transmetal. These three were transmetal, and then this last one was inspired for a Beast Wars movie version of Primal.
Wow. Yeah, that's pretty slick.
Same guy did a Megatron too, right?
If he did, I did not see it before when I was. Doing
He did it. He did it a few months ago. So
I know what
Okay,
you're talking about. I've seen
I
it.
didn't see it then. I'm only one person.
Which version of Megatron was it? Was it like just original T-Rex or Trans?
Yeah, it was the T-Rex, the Barney one. But his claw formed kind of like a trident claw or something. It was pretty cool looking.
Awesome.
Alrighty, so that will lead us into our discussion for the night. Give me a second.
Amateur hour.
Well, I had so many damn tabs earlier. I had to close some of these damn things out. So many different messages.
Dalton won't send you so many links to stuff for you to open tabs on. It's all Dalton's fault.
Shut up.
It is Dalton's fault. All right.
Dakota's fault. Come on, everybody knows it's Dakota's fault.
Yeah, we'll blame Dakota. All right, so this is probably a pretty easy one for us, but we can go either way on this one. Are you a Transformer fan first, Beast Wars fan second, or are you a Beast Wars fan first, Transformer fan second? Do you think that the level of saturation for the Beast Wars...
Let's do one part at a time for this.
Fine, Dalton. You run the show now.
I'm just saying. I think that way no one gets confused or left behind.
We're already confused. We're already confused. I'm running the show. That's why we're confused as it is already.
Quit ruining my night, Dalton.
What happened to Brett? Did he drop completely out?
I don't know. He said be right back and just never came back.
He fell asleep. Come back,
He'll
Brett.
be back. He'll be back.
All right, Joe. Come on, Joe. Give us an answer.
So what's the first question?
See.
Oh, hell.
My Beast Wars fan first or a Transformers fan first?
Yes, pretty much.
I'm definitely a Beast Wars fan first. I have more Transformers stuff than Beast Wars, but that's because there's more Transformers stuff than Beast Wars. But Beast Wars is what got me into it. And, I mean, if I had to sell everything, either Transformers or Beast Wars, Transformers are gone. I'm keeping all the Beasts. That's the best part of it all. So
Gotcha. Dalton?
This one's a little bit hard to answer because I personally feel like I'm on both sides of it. Like, I like one because of the other, and I like the other because I like one. So I'd probably say Beast Wars Transformers because I find more enjoyment in Beast Wars than I do as a whole for Transformers. So yeah, kind of with Joe. I love Beast Wars more than Transformers, but I've got more Transformers as a whole than Beast Wars.
Brett, you need me to repeat the question for you?
Yes, please, because computers suck.
All right. So, are you a Transformers fan first, Beast Wars fan second, or other way around?
Kind of putting you on the spot, huh?
Yeah, because normally I'd go one way, but since everyone, you know what?
just be you.
Transformers G1 was awesome. I like Beast Wars because it brought me back into it, but I love my G1.
You hear that, chat?
I said it. Boom.
Mic drop.
I don't want to do it. Last time the computer shut down, so I don't want to do that again.
Where are you at, Candace? Which I don't think I really should have to ask Candace. We all know that.
Beast Wars.
Oh, really? Maybe you don't know what I'm going to say.
Ooh.
She's a G1 girl.
Ooh.
I'm definitely G1. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To the dark side.
It's Beast Wars for me. Beast Wars means more to me than any of the other series, so it's going to be that one first, and then the rest.
Yeah.
What about you, Robbie?
That's all I draw too. So
I got to go with Transformers as a whole.
Yeah. Woo!
You know, G1. G1 started off, and you know, I can't escape that. That's like in my DNA at this point. I do love Beast Wars. Beast Wars kind of got me back into it. You know, I mean, the Transmetal Megatron was the first Transformer I bought as an adult.
It did
So yeah, that got me back into it, but I can't escape G1.
So let me ask you something. Not getting too personal.
Who invited this guy?
When did you roughly? How old are you?
I'm 43.
Okay, see, so we're in the same age bracket.
I was 7. I was 7 when G1 came out.
See, that's just it. The whole concept of Transformers and everything for you and I were and even Mike, were you know, that was so good and everything, and I like that. But what got me back into it was Beast Wars. So I have a love for that because it actually brought me back into it. But ultimately, man, I'm telling you, those stupid cartoons from the 80s that were just so goofy with all their little imperfections. I loved it. I did. I didn't get that again until Beast Wars. And I'll be honest with you, I haven't seen it since. Just for me.
Beast Wars is great, man. I'll be honest, and I'll come clean. I did not like Beast Wars when it came out. I did not give it the time of day. I'm 7 years older than my brother, and he tried to watch it, and I was like, "What is that? Turn that off. That's garbage."
Now, see, for me, it was just the opposite.
But to give you an idea, I mean, it just goes to show you how good the show really is, though, because it really won me over. Like when I finally watched it, and you know, you actually got into the story. The story in Beast Wars really was much better written than G1. I don't think too many people would argue that.
No, absolutely not. Yeah.
So exactly. You know, it won me over. I'll say that for sure.
Yeah. See, for me, I saw the toys first. When they came out, and I was like, I didn't care for the toys, but it was the story of the show that made me say, I got to go back and get these toys, which I did. And it actually got me, I went back and got my little, and at that time I had one little box of G1 stuff. And it made me come back and look at this stuff and say, you know, I love this. This is what I like. So I would not be the G1. I would not be the G1 collector if it weren't for Beast Wars, most specifically the show. Beast Wars. And then I'm sorry, but Ultra Class Optimus Primal is without a doubt, hands down, the best toy they ever made. I'm done. I mean, that was
it's great.
It's just so awesome, and I had to get it. So, yeah, win. And I'm just glad that none of this stuff was made by Apple, which is my computer that died, by the way.
Boom. Right here.
That's it. I'm telling you. And all they did was they took a great mold.
Mic drop.
And that goes to it. But the toy itself never changed. Amazing toy. Such play value.
It's great. And the Masterpiece one's awesome. But, I mean, this one is just – it's not much – worse or less. Yeah,
you keep them both. I mean, it's just a continuation of the toy. But getting back to your question about G1 or Beast Wars, I think there's a lot of people that wouldn't go back and watch their G1 if they weren't infatuated with Beast Wars. So you have to have both. That's my opinion.
Now, for me, I didn't know about G1. When Beast Wars was out, I grew up with Beast Wars.
Well, you were drunk then.
I was drunk then. I was 9 years old and drunk. Okay.
Look at you now. Come on now.
So for me, it's so hard to really give a straight answer.
I don't remember anyone asking you, but go ahead.
Yeah, we're gonna be funny tonight, are we? Yeah, that's what I thought. But anyways, so me personally, I know you are. So for me personally, it was more of I grew up on G1. It was great and all, and getting around that teenage year, I didn't really watch Beast Wars at first, but when I did, I just watched it to watch cartoons. But when I look back on it now, it's like I was always a Transformers fan first. It doesn't really kind of mean, I can't pick the better, one over the other. It's kind of hard because some of them each one had their own great personality. Where, in my opinion, I always thought, and it's been mentioned, was that Beast Wars had some of the best stories. And even going through, Fun Pub when they did the theft of the golden disc. And now Dakota doesn't like the Bacon 16 story, but I kind of do. But it's like, they gave it better stories, and when they went and traveled through, time and everything in Beast Wars, that's what made it more interesting to me than anything else. So, I'm just a Transformers fan, period. I can't really sit there and pick, say G1's better or over Beast Wars or Armada. I could say between those two, they're better than anything else, in my opinion. So, so that's where I stand at on that, I guess. That's it.
Honestly, it's kind of easy. Well, it's definitely easy for me to look at, G1 and Beast Wars as being superior to the others. But we've talked about this before, that when people get into this area where they dip in, as opposed, in relation to what show is out there, that's kind of what they adhere to and what gets them going to looking at the nostalgia and see what's behind them and also looking forward. But for me, it was just really interesting, and a couple of us here also, that we kind of got in at the beginning, if it was G1, even G2 to a lesser extent, and got to move forward. We got to see the progression of all of it, and see how they tie together. So, I don't care for Armada. I don't care for Cybertron, all that stuff, but I understand it because it relates and it brings people in a new format for a new era to get them into the whole Transformer mythology, I guess, for lack of a better term. So I think they're all important. But still, Beast Wars.
No.
Beast Wars.
All right, the second part of this question is, do you think that the level of saturation.
Yeah. No. Or stagnation. Stagnation. Yeah, that's it.
For Beast Wars and what, Dalton, you read it.
Do you think the level of stagnation for Beast Wars and the overabundance of G1/Evergreen in official products has made you prefer the latter part? Preferring Beast Wars.
All right, kick us off, Dalton.
That's how I feel.
Go ahead.
I didn't understand that question. You might have to read it 3 or 4 more times.
I can't even see it on our notes. Where was that?
It's in the weekly show notes under topics.
All right. Is it stagnation?
Stagnation, yes.
That makes a difference.
Yeah, that's what I said. Stagnation.
Yeah, well, I didn't know. I guessed for what he was saying. Go, Joe. Yo, Joe.
Someone else go. I didn't understand the question. Dalton, can you read it again?
Read it one more time.
Do you think the level of stagnation for Beast Wars and the overabundance of the G1/Evergreen designs in official products have made you prefer the latter part, being a Beast Wars fan first and a Transformers fan second?
So basically, for me to understand this question, what it's asking is, so there's not many Beast Wars. Is that why I like them more? Right? That's what it's asking. Like the fact that there's
no, I think it's just worded wrong.
No, I like Beast Wars more because that's what I grew up with, and it's, I don't know, it's to me it's that G1. G1 is what came before it. It's what set the roots for everything. But
good or bad?
but it's not. I don't know. It's not what I would get up every morning at 5 o'clock to watch in the morning. It's not what I would run to the toy aisle and look at all the new toys or trying to figure out what one I'm getting. That's Beast Wars to me. It's what I would run to the toy aisle for. So, no, Beast Wars, regardless of what's on the shelves today or in the future.
Wait a minute. You're telling me that the only reason you go to the toy aisle is for Beast Wars?
I'll bet you're upset every time you go.
I was gonna say, what about all the new things out?
No, I was
Returns, all
referring
this
to
stuff.
when I was
You don't buy
9
any of
years
that?
old.
Do you
No,
buy
I was
any of the
referring
new
to when
stuff?
I was 9 years old.
No. Okay.
I'm not 9 years old anymore, Brett.
That's what he's saying, is that when he was 9, that's what he expected to find was Beast Wars toys.
I'd say so. I don't like see a 9-year-old drunk. At least 11. I'm going back to what he said before. The question's kind of skewed. Are you talking about that there's more emphasis on G1 than Beast Wars right now? And that's what makes... Go ahead.
Yeah, I think that's what he's trying to word it as, is are you basically getting... Is the overuse of G1, repetitive nature, what makes you even more of a Beast Wars fan now?
Well, I don't know about that, but I mean, you have to remember that this is not only, and I've said this once before, this is not only in the U.S., it's all across the the world, and Japan also, to which G1 is very, very important. So that's why you keep getting the we had the e-hobby stuff, and you get the exclusives and stuff. So G1 is still important. So I don't see one being more important than the other. I see one leading into the other. But as far as toys go right now, yeah, of course. I mean, G1's getting more of a hit than Beast Wars is. But I mean, look at every time that we get a Beast Wars item, it sells out. It's gone. And then what's it do? It shoots up in price. Look at all the Diaclone stuff that's out there. This is where I look at. Look at all the Diaclone stuff that you can buy half price of what the original release was. Diaclone colored masterpiece for half the price, and Beast Wars going for more than the original price. That should tell you something.
Mm-hmm.
Like the beloved blue streak, you would think everyone back in the 2000s would have gone nuts for a blue streak.
Absolutely.
And now the masterpiece blue streak, people are you can't even give it away.
I'm not even going with that.
It's
Look at the
clearance.
black. Look at the black tracks. You're talking about a finished item that was so
masterpiece
small
exhaust
produced.
Well,
it's a grail.
Is a different story.
It doesn't matter. You're talking about something, and it sits at half the cost. And then look at first and second release Optimus Primal.
Yep, they've gone skyrocketing.
They're 300 or more right now.
It really is, and a lot of it has to do with the flavor of the week, I think. I don't know, Robbie. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I do definitely think that it's probably overdue for some more Beast Wars like recognition in like the main lines. I mean, like I said, I love my G1, but I wouldn't mind having like a new version of Pterosaur. Pterosaur has, I would love like a deluxe class version of like the original Pterosaur, because I thought that the little Scout class one was just too small. So yeah, or even like a masterpiece. If they did a masterpiece, I would love a masterpiece Pterosaur.
It's right now. The problem is everyone's kind of looking at the masterpiece scale as a gauge for what's going on. But the problem is that there's a lot of people in the fandom that don't collect masterpiece, because either it could be the size, it could be the cost, whatever.
Or availability too. I mean,
or availability.
You can't go to Target and just buy a masterpiece.
Absolutely. So it's kind of hard to use that, although I just did. Sorry. But I mean, so it kind of goes back and forth. But I mean, what about Beast Wars repaints? How do they fare?
I think they still sell out too.
Exactly. So
did that black Cheetor repaint? Was it the Shadow Panther?
Shadow Panther went cheaper than it did at retail.
Did it really?
Goes right now. Okay. So what's that go back to? In my opinion, it just all goes back to, and it's a blase statement. But dude, man, Transformer fans, Beast Wars fans, they're fickle. They're just fickle. I want this. Too, I don't want that. I want that.
It probably also has a lot to do with like who's on the show too. Like if a character is major on the show, they're going to want a representation of them. That's why Shadow Panther
characters always do better.
Yeah, he wasn't on the show, so care about who he is.
Right, but the original statement about that, if you were a true Beast Wars fan, you would just pick up every one of them no matter what. And there's probably people out there that do that.
True.
But I don't know if that's a true representation of the whole fandom.
I agree with that, Brett, because there's a lot of people who they'll see, oh, cool, Megatron. I remember him from the show. Mm-hmm. They'll see the price. They'll be like, nah. Some will get him. But others, they'll see Shadow Panther and they'll be like, I don't know who that is.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. You think about those diehard Beast Wars fans that only pick the show characters, that save all their nickels and dimes together to buy every single what they consider to be true representation of masterpiece show characters. That's all they buy. Mm-hmm. So they're kind of left out of this equation, but they're still true to the brand, true fandom, but they're just being conscientious about what they buy. Where do they sit in on this? It's just hard to say the fandom is doing this or that. I mean, like I said, it's fickle. It's a big, broad spectrum.
Could be too. There's so much coming out these days. I think a lot of people have to sort of pick and choose what they're
absolutely
resources on.
And you know what?
Yeah, and
I like that better than you get one or two things every quarter, and that's all you want. Thank you. I think that was a dog.
I think it was.
I don't know, just real quick. But I mean, think about it. I mean, remember back in, not that long ago when we didn't have Masterpiece, we had just a select few items that we would pick from. Yeah, I'll pick that up because I haven't bought anything in 6 months or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Now you can pick and choose. And not only that, you can pick and choose. And I'm not a big I'm not a big advocate of third party. Sorry, Mike. But you have different, you have your legends, you have your regular scale, you have your deluxe, you have your, masterpiece, whatever. So you can even get the same character in different sizes and different, I don't know, not molds,
scales,
articulation, scales to articulation. So the cost factor is from little to great.
Well, I'll say from having seen from like a retail perspective, like people are going nuts for the legend stuff, and they're like, man, I love having the masterpiece stuff. It's just great for display, but the legend stuff, it's great for messing around with, playing with, kind of thing.
I get that, but how many people, if you sat down and targeted them and figured it out, bought both? I got my masterpiece because I want it to look good, but I want to fidget with the legends.
I've seen quite a few people buy both. There's some who jump off from masterpiece to do just legends because honestly, some of the stuff these companies doing the legends,
they're amazing.
They're really knocking it out of the park. It's crazy. For something that size, they sometimes do it better than the masterpiece scale.
So I'm gonna add one more thing to that. But are you sure that they're doing it because they want one to fidget with and one to display, or because they're trying to buy everything Beast Wars and that's all that's available?
Oh, I was talking G1.
What G1 did they do that you see in Legends and Masterpiece? Because I can't think of it.
I've seen people get both the Masterpiece and the G1 scales, or the Masterpiece and the Legends scales, and I've also seen people sell off their Masterpiece in favor of the Legends scales. So, I mean, I've seen both. So, and
Okay.
I think it just depends on the person. I mean, because both are a huge financial investment. So, the Legends a lesser investment.
Well, yeah. Like
Beast Wars doesn't have the product available yet to judge its fans yet.
I think that goes back to the main topic of, Beast Wars has become stagnant because all Hasbro and these third-party companies want to do is rehash of the same thing over and over again. They don't want to do anything new or different. And Beast Wars is just sitting there like, are we gonna just be stuck here on the bench or what? Are you gonna
Is there a Cang-Toy coming in the Cyberverse line? I thought I remember hearing something about that.
Yeah.
There's a mainline Cheetor coming out.
Well, one came out in the Cyberverse line with like the Axelon boat to combine with him. But there is a listing rumor that there is something coming to Wong Art listing.
There's two of them.
Okay. One's the red line.
Yeah, one's red line and one's supposedly the Netflix War for Cybertron.
Oh, okay.
So it's just kind of like gotta wait to see what happens now.
Did anyone ever compare the two numbers to see if they're the same?
Yeah, I think they were different because the one with the red line was showing with other red line figures, and the one for Netflix was showing up with like Elita 1 and other.
Okay. Because I remember looking at the numbers for the one that they said was the red series, and the G1 ones were all sequential, like 85, 86, 87. The Cheetor was different than the rest of those. And it didn't say red in the listing, where some of them did. Like, I think the Bumblebee said red in the listing. Soundwave said red in the listing, but Cheetor didn't. So, I don't know.
They've already mentioned that before as part of the red line, so it's bound to happen.
Okay. I agree.
Does anyone have anything else to add to this topic?
Beast Wars.
Beast Wars.
Beast Wars.
Beast Wars.
Beast Wars.
Beast Wars.
All right, I think that's it. So,
Mike. Beast Wars.
Oh, shut up. Hey, Mike, I got something really important. Beast Wars. Shut up, Joe.
That's important. It's important to me.
All right, well, great. So, Robbie, thank you for taking the time to come on the show with us tonight and having a good time. I know I didn't really get a chance to throw out everyone in the chat, but for everyone who went through the whole chat with us, we appreciate y'all sticking with this train wreck we call a show and chatting it up with us. So before we get out of here, Robbie, tell people again where they can find you at, and if they want to do some, if they want to get some commission work or buy some of your stuff, where they can find all that at.
Yeah, you can find me on Facebook, Robbie Musso, and like I said, I do have artwork posted on there, and I do have artwork posted on my DeviantArt page. It's Rex-203, REX-203. But yeah, mostly on Facebook. That's pretty much where you can find me. But thanks for having me on. It's been fun.
Oh yeah, I mean, great. I'm glad we were able to get you to come on, and then unfortunately, I knew I was going to see you in about 3 weeks at RoboCon, but maybe you'll still go. You can come hang out with us. I mean, if you still want to go up there.
Yeah, we'll see. I'll have to see what my options are.
I understand that.
They're probably better.
You what?
His options.
Probably better.
No, I have to see. I really have to just see what's going on with my travel arrangements and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally understand that stuff. Joe, tell people where they can find you at.
You can find me here, or at you can contact me through my Primal secretary, who is Primal Sabbath. Otherwise, Stasis Lock Gmail, which is stasislockpodcast@gmail.com.
Golden.
You can find me everywhere at the Altinians TS, but you can find me exclusively here on Stasis Luck as the real Primal Sabbath.
Giggity.
What?
Mega Toy Fan on Facebook.
Candace.
Oh, you can search for me across social media, Candace Santora with Candace with an I, or Canned Ice Santora.
Where did you come up with ice? I'm just curious.
What, Canned Ice? Because a certain someone kept spelling my name wrong, and I said, okay, Canned Ice.
Okay, explains a lot.
And then it
then.
seemed to stick. So
I had a beer in the freezer too long, and I ended up with canned ice.
See?
Joe.
All right. And y'all can find me everywhere as Angry Mike, and we'll be back next week. Same beast time, same beast channel. Have a good night.
Optimus.
Good night.
$20.